Namaste and welcome back to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. This is Yamajit, and thank you so much for joining me this evening for part 13 of our series on the 64 Yoginis. This is a series of pujas and satsangs, and tonight we are honoring the goddess Kalaratri, the darkness of night. So once again, namaste and welcome back. I think it's very auspicious that we just completed the day 13 of the Tibetan Book of the Dead sadhana. And this same night, we are honoring the 13th of the 64 yoginis. So let's go ahead and begin with our satsang. So Kalaratri is the 13th of the 64 yoginis. She's also the 7th of a group of goddesses known as the Nav Durga or the Nine Durgas. So one of 9 forms of the Divine Mother Goddess Durga or Mahadevi. Kalaratri is one of the fearsome, wrathful forms of the Mother Goddess, and she is interchangeable, really, with Ma Kali. She's a goddess of both auspiciousness and also of courage. In both scripture and devotional worship, it's common to find the names Kali and Kalaratri being used together interchangeably, although these two deities are also considered to be separate entities by some. Kali is first mentioned in Hinduism as a distinct goddess around 300 BCE in the Mahabharata. She's also mentioned in the Devi Mahatmya, also known as the Chandipath. Kalaratri is traditionally worshipped during the 9 nights of Navaratri, and we have the spring Navaratri coming up fairly soon. Specifically, Kalaratri is observed on day 7 of that 9-day festival. Namaste both to Kim and to Deborah. Thank you for joining me. Among worshippers of Ma Durga, she's considered to be the fiercest form of the Mother Goddess. Her appearance itself is said to invoke fear among our inner demons. She's believed to be the destroyer of all demon entities, ghosts, evil spirits, negative energies, and they all flee upon knowing of her arrival. And it's good to remember that when the Divine Mother kills, slays, destroys a demon form, what she's really doing is liberating that energy, taking that energy, releasing it so that it can manifest again in a more constructive, a more life-affirming form. Another scripture called the Saudikagama, and this is an ancient tantric text. In this, the goddess Kalaratri is described as being the goddess that rules the night portion of every 24-hour period. She's also associated with the planet Saturn astrologically, and also with the crown chakra. It's said that she provides her devotees with success in yoga practices, knowledge, power, and wealth. Kalaratri is known also as Shubhankari, meaning auspiciousness, or doing good in Sanskrit. And this is due to the belief that she always provides auspicious results to her devotees, along with fearlessness. Along with Kali, Kalaratri is found separately in the Mahabharata, where she's described in the following manner. In her embodied form, a black image, a bloody mouth and bloody eyes, wearing crimson garlands and smeared with crimson paste, attired in a single piece of red cloth with a noose in hand, and resembling an elderly lady employed in chanting a dismal note and standing full before our eyes. In this quote, Goddess Kalaratri personifies the horrors of war. In the Markandeya Purana, which is the very large scripture that the Devi Mahatmya is part of, so in chapter 1, verse 75, it describes the goddess Kalaratri as bringing into force the three qualities, sattva, rajas, and tamas. And it says, "You are the dark of periodic dissolution. You are the great night of final dissolution and the terrible night of dissolution." In yet another scripture, the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, and this is the large epic scripture that the Bhagavad Gita is found in. Kalaratri is the form of Kali who battles demons. And in this scripture, Durga, also known as Chandika, or she who tears apart thoughts, comes forth from the body of the goddess Parvati. And when this happened, Parvati's skin turned extremely dark, almost black, like the hue of dark clouds. And at this point, she became Kalika and Kalaratri. In this particular story, she is described as having two arms holding a sword and a skull cup filled with blood. And in this form, the divine goddess kills the demon king Shumba. And Shumba means self-conceit. This version of the Devi Bhagavatam is sometimes different from the one mentioned in the Devi Mahatmyam, which has her taking the role of Durga in a wrathful form. So, with that description, I'd like to refer to our Hirapur temple image. And we see that she is standing upon a wild boar. And another name for Kalaratri is Panchavadahi, or the fifth form of the Divine Mother in the form of a sow. Like so many of these images, her arms are broken away, but it's quite possible that she is holding that kapala or skull cup and maybe a sword or blade as well. And I made a slight mistake. I mentioned the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam. I was confusing it for a moment with the Srimad Bhagavatam. That's where the Bhagavad Gita is found. The Srimad Devi Bhagavatam is a huge epic work that's all about the Divine Mother. So in addition to her consort of Lord Shiva, Kalaratri, like Kali in her Chamunda form, is also regarded as the feminine counterpart of Lord Yama. And I do have a small Yama image that I'm including on our altar tonight. So Yama, the Lord of Death in the underworld, and Yama is also the upholder of the Dharma. In analyzing her name, Kala means both time and darkness. Ratri, meaning the night. So a full translation of the name might be the dark night of time. So she personifies the divine function of destruction, which is necessary for renewal. She also personifies the primordial darkness that existed before creation, the darkness before the dawn. Invoking Kalaratri therefore empowers the devotee with the devouring quality of Kala or time and the all-encompassing nature of Ratri, the night, allowing all obstacles to be overcome and guaranteeing success in all of our undertakings. This form primarily depicts that life also has a dark side. Our psyche has its shadow, and the processing of which allows one's growth into one's full potential. So she's the power of the most darkest of nights, and it is at night that both humans and animals fall asleep, and as they sleep, their exhaustion is removed. Likewise, she guides us from darkness, the darkness of ignorance, to the light of wisdom. In life, we go from the darkness of non-existence through birth, and we gain the light of conscious experience. Eventually, we experience death, the return to non-existence, and then followed by rebirth. Therefore, Ma Kali or Kalaratri embodies the powers that bring us into this world and those powers that call us home when our time has come. I'm going to show you a traditional Kalaratri image. And we see in this image that she is riding upon a mule and holding a couple of different objects. Her skin is said to be dark as night. Her hair loose and disheveled, which means free and unbound, feminine, Shakti power. She has 4 hands. Her 2 left hands hold a sword and a vajra. And this vajra looks very much like a human spinal column with the ribs attached. And so when we think of a vajra, we think of these ritual instruments from Tibetan and Nepali Buddhism. This is become a favorite of mine, the second one here, which is made out of iron. And vajra, also known as dorje, means diamond, but also lightning. And in the case of this form of vajra that Ma Kalaratri is holding, that lightning is none other than Ma Kundalini herself. And then she's also holding the mudras of dispelling fear and giving boons. So there are some related forms. There is Shitala, who is a goddess associated with smallpox epidemics. She'd be called upon to rid a community of smallpox. And she's identical with that image of Kalaratri upon her mule. Nowadays, because smallpox has been eradicated, she's called upon for the eradication of other childhood diseases like measles and chickenpox. In Tibetan Buddhism, we have an identical figure in the goddess Palden Lamo, who is considered another form of Ma Kali. So the hymn for our puja, the mantra for our puja will be Om Devi Kalaratri Namaha. And then there's a short hymn, a short stotram, that I'll be reciting during the invocational phase of our puja. So before we begin our puja, I'd like to once again welcome Kim and Deborah. And we are also joined with Jagesh, and thank you for joining us. And anybody else, if you're tuning in live, please feel free to say hello using the chat function on the bottom of your screen. So let's honor the Divine Mother Kalaratri. And so I invite you to find a comfortable seated position where you can look upon your screen with a relaxed gaze. And let's begin by just sitting quietly, maybe rolling the shoulders back to expand the chest. And let's begin just taking some nice deep, slow breaths to prepare for our sadhana. Let the cares of yesterday and the cares of tomorrow fall away. And let us focus upon the image of our altar, including her temple image from the 64 Yogini temple in Hirapur in the state of Orissa. Breathing deeply, focusing our breath and attention on our heart center. And I invite you to think of some aspect of your life that is ready for healing or resolution, and especially something that is ready to fade away like the setting sun, and expressing the desire to let that go. And or you're also invited to think about some endeavor in your life that you wish for success in. Because both giving and taking away are functions of Ma Kalaratri. She is the darkness before the dawn, and the death before disillusion and rebirth. Ma Kalaratri is also associated with another form of the Divine Mother with the same functions known as Ma Bhairavi, the awe-inspiring one, and so she is also included on our altar tonight. And I'd like to begin our practice by chanting 3 seed syllables that are associated with Ma Bhairavi and very appropriate for Ma Kalaratri as well. And those are the syllables Hesraim, Heshklarim, Hesrau. So bringing the palms of your hands to your heart center, let's inhale, and we're going to begin with Hesraim. Hesraim. Inhale, Heshklarim. Heshklarim. And Hesrau. Om Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yashmade Pandarikaksham Sabya Byanta Sushi Om Shuklam Bharadhanam Vishnum Sashivanam Shatobhijam Prasanavananam Dayat Sava Vigno Pasantaye Jai Ganesha. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshvara Guru Sakshat Padam Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Jai Guru. Om Triambakam Yajamaye Sagandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukam Bandhanan Matur Mukshyamamritat. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Jayanti Mangalakali Bhadrakali Kapalani Durga Shama Shiva Datri Svasvada Namostute Jayatvam Devi Chamunde Jaya Bhuti Taharani Jaya Sarvagati Devi Kalaratri Namostute Jemakali. Ekaveni Japakarna Puranagna Karastita Lambosti Karni Kakarni Tala Abhaktya Sarini Vamapadola Sola Lata Kantaka Bhushana Vardana Mudvaja Kurna Kalaratrir Bayam Kare. O goddess with a single braid of hair, wearing the japa flowers hibiscus around her ears as ornaments, who is naked and seated upon a donkey, whose lips are long and big, wearing earrings on her ears, whose body is smeared with oil, the one whose left leg is adorned with thorny coils of metal-like creeper as an ornament, one who increaseth the prosperity, O the one in the dark blue color, goddess Kalaratri, the awe-inspiring one. To the wicked we bow to you. Jema Kalaratri. Jema Kalaratri. Jema Kalaratri Devi. Om Devi Kalaratriye Namaha. Om Devi Kalaratri Namah. Om Kalaratri Namah. Om Devi 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 Kalaratri Namah. Jema Kalaratri. Jema Kalaratri. Jema Kalaratri Devi. Om Kapuragoram Karunavataram Samsara Saram Bhujagendra Haram Sada Santam Hridayada Vinde, Vivam Bivani Saitam Namami, Devi Prapanote Hare Prasida, Prasida Matada Jagata Kilasya, Prasida Vishvesvada Pe Vishvam, Tvam Ishura Devi, Chachara Charasya, Om Agni Jyotir Jyotiagnir Svaha, Agni Jyotir Jyotiagnir Svaha, Agni Jyotir Jyotiagnir Svaha. Shema. So as I give our fire offerings, I invite you to join me in our mantra. Om Devi Kalaratri Namah. 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 Om Devi Kalaratri Namaha. 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 I invite you to meditate upon our flame. And feel those things within that no longer work with us or work for us being offered to the flame, cast in the flames for transformation. And in the light and the warmth of the flame, feel those transmuted energies returning to you, healing you, guiding you, resolving the conflicts within your life, and lighting the way for your path. Jima, Jima, Jima. Jai Ma Kalaratri Devi. Jai Ma Kalaratri Devi. Jai Ma Kalaratri Devi. Nama. Om Sava Mangala Mangalye Shiva Svada Sadike Saranye Trambake Devi Naryane Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamashoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amrita Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sana Bhavatu Sanao Bunaktu Saviryam Kadavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvidyavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tatsatom. Jai Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Ma Devi. Jai Ma Kali. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. I invite you to bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Take a moment to give thanks to the Divine Mother and acknowledge her presence within, knowing she's there to guide us always. And take a moment to give gratitude to yourself for taking part in our practice this evening. And I recommend doing some quiet meditation before resuming the day's activities. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Namaste. Blessings always. Thank you so very much for joining me this evening. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Thank you. So I'd like to invite you to join me Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock. Following the Tibetan Book of the Dead sadhana, I'll be sharing with you another stotram-based meditation. Our meditation will be based upon the Hymn to the Divine Mother by Swami Vivekananda. Those of you may know that Vivekananda was a disciple of both Sri Ramakrishna and also his wife Sardama. And in 1893, he was a key figure in bringing yogic philosophy to the West during the 1893 World Conference of Religions. And then next Friday at 7 o'clock, I'll be sharing with you our monthly Yoga Nidra, the theme to be announced. And of course, 12 noon tomorrow and on Sunday will be the next two installments, day 14 and day 15 of the Tibetan Book of the Dead sadhana. And then 7 o'clock Monday through Friday, the Tibetan Book of the Sadhana will continue as well. So once again, thank you for joining me. And Jai Ma. And good night.